So good morning, and how are you, Karen Williams?
I'm good, thank you, Claire. I'm really looking forward to being interviewed today.
Yes, it's not going to be a very long one, but I'm hoping that will have a real depth into you and your book.
Mm-hmm.
So the most important question first, I have my beverage ready. Are you a tea or a coffee person?
Oh, it's quite funny. I'm sat here with hot water and lemon today, which is unusual, but I am
very healthy.
I tend to start the day with that because I don't know, it gets me up in the morning, but I am a coffee drinker, more black, strong coffee, especially when I'm writing. And if I'm writing, normally a bit of dark chocolate to hand, just occasionally.
Lovely. It sounds wonderful. And do you have a particular place where you like to write, where you're most creative?
Certainly on a day-to-day basis when I'm writing, I tend to write at my desk because I generally find that the words get channeled from my brain through my fingers through to my laptop. But 4 years ago, back in 2014, I ran a writing retreat in Spain for the first time, and that is the most inspirational place to write. It came about because one of my clients was fed up with always having to do things before she started writing, like, you know, feeding the kids, getting the husband up, you know, putting the dogs out, walking the dogs and things like that. And she said, wouldn't it be lovely to have a place to write? And one of my clients was living out in Spain at the time, and she said, well, I'd like to set up retreats. So we got together and we're running it for the 4th time in September. And it's beautiful, it's
wonderful.
inspiring, it's just a quiet pace of life.
And is that formal writing, or does everybody do their own thing, or do you sort of guide people with exercises?
All of that really. It's set up as a writing retreat in terms of giving people the time, the space to write, but also with mentoring and coaching as people want it as well. And it's amazing what happens over a glass of wine in the evening, or even a sort of, you know, sit by the pool, which is makes it really, really lovely.
Wow. And how could people find out more about that? I'm tempted myself to find out more about that.
Well, this year we're doing it the 21st of September for 5 nights. It's in the Andalusian Mountains, and you can go to my website, writingretreats.co.uk, or via my website, which is libertas.com, and there's a link from there to all of our events as well.
That's very exciting. That just sounds lovely.
Yeah, we have people come back again and again. One of the ladies from last year came. I don't think she had actually hit the tarmac before she'd booked again for this year to write her next book. So yeah, it's a beautiful location. I couldn't think of a better place to write, to be honest.
Wonderful. And this book, Book Marketing Made Simple, which I have read and very much enjoyed, and thank you. That's your 5th book.
It is, yeah. I started out in 2009 with my first book, which I started by accident, really, as a lot of people do. I was interviewing some successful coaches to find out what was the difference that made the difference between coaches who were successful and those who were struggling in business, and I decided to write a book about it. I must admit, I said never again, and then I went on to write my 2nd, 3rd, and now I'm on my 5th. Yeah.
Famous last words.
Famous last words. But I don't know, I think a lot of people who write business type books find that they realise that they're saying the same thing again and again and again to their clients, and it makes perfect sense to put it in a book, rather, you know, because it enables you to put everything you know down on paper, and it can lead to, I find with many of my clients at least, to products, programs, events and things off the back of the book, which enables them to build their business, which is part of the reason for writing the book in the first place.
I think you've really got something with this particular book, because a lot of the authors that I engage with are brilliant at the writing and the creativity and the ideas, and they write beautiful books, often taking them many years, but then have no idea what to do next. And I think what I liked about your book was it was quite interactive, so there were lots of things to think about and forms to fill in, and it was very focused on actually taking this work that's your sort of baby, really, and then actually sharing it with the world, and how to do that effectively.
Yeah, and you know, one of the reasons for writing it, because I can be just as guilty of doing that as the rest of us. I tend to, I'll finish my book now, it's out there, what's next? Where I think you do need to consolidate the work that you're doing. You need to tell people about it. Unless you tell people about it, it'd be a waste of time writing it, to be really, really blunt.
Absolutely. Lovely. So do you think that everyone, you work mainly with professionals rather than authors of fiction, so do you think that everyone has a book in them, if you know what I mean? Does everyone have specialist knowledge that they perhaps don't even realise they have?
I think a lot of people do. You know, I tend to work with a lot of people in business who are coaches, consultants, therapists, who have a huge amount of expertise, and it's the thing that they find easy. It's the thing that they need to share with their clients. And I think from a fiction point of view, that's not my bag. Although I know some brilliant people who can support in that area. But I think we've all got a book within us. It's just whether we want to write it or not.
Ah, interesting. I was thinking of purely of myself. So I lectured for 12 years in mental health recovery, and I can think of all the courses I wrote and all the things in my head that people hopefully found useful, and whether there's a book there. I think there probably is now I've spoken to you and read your book.
Might be.
It's a really interesting topic, and that's so part of your role, other than being a very good author, is that you then help people to pull that out of themselves, as it were.
Yeah, I tend to work with people really from the idea stage through to publication. So a lot of clients who come to work with me have an idea to write a book. They've got this dream, but they're not sure how to get started. And I tend to work with clients with the planning stage. So I like to help them map it out. So what's the first step? What's the second step? What's the third step? And we do it with Post-it notes so things can be moved around. For many of my clients, I then help with the writing stage in as much as providing accountability, support, feedback, and then publishing. I set up a publishing imprint, Libertas Books, earlier this year, and so I help people with that side of things, and obviously the marketing, which is key really from the day you start to write it. But a lot of people either forget or they think about it really late, and I'm trying to encourage more people to think about the marketing side of things, you know, literally when they've got their idea, when they're doing their market research for their book.
I found that really interesting, that you should sort of be out there telling people what you're writing, to just already create a buzz before you've even written it.
Yeah, and it's a scary thing to do as well, because you know, when people are saying, you know, Claire, when's your book going to be done, and things like that, you know, it can have motivation to help, but it also can have the opposite effect as well. So it's quite a scary thing to do.
Yeah, but I quite like it. I'm someone who probably would do it if lots of people kept asking me how it was going.
Exactly.
I think a book mentor is an excellent idea to get something to actually happen.
It is, and I come across so many people who have conversations with me and say, oh, I really want to write a book, and then, you know, you come across them a year later, 18 months later, and they still haven't done it. And my passion is just to help more and more people to get their books out there, because, you know, yeah, we've all got so much knowledge and inspiration and stories as well. And a couple of my clients are writing about their own life stories, the things that have happened to them and how it shaped their life, and how those experiences can help other people as well. And I think we've all got a message to share, to inspire other people. And I think a lot of us don't think we have. So my job is to encourage as many people as possible to get their stuff out there.
It's wonderful. It's really, really excellent. Thank you. So Book Marketing Made Simple is out on the 7th of June.
Mm-hmm.
And I certainly have been feel very, very lucky and honoured to have had a look at it before that. Are you already thinking about the next thing? Is that how your brain works, or are you really focused on this one at the moment?
I'm focused on this one. There's an idea brewing, is what I'm going to say.
Excellent. Well, it's been such a thrill to talk with you. Thank you for sharing that time with us.
Thank you. And obviously, if people want to find out how they can sign up for the launch, it's the 7th of June. If you go to www.librotas.com/BMMS-advance, and you can sign up, and that's Librotas, Librotas.
Excellent, and I will put some links on underneath as well.
Brilliant. Thank you.
So people can go direct there.
Thank you very much, Claire.
And good luck. We can't wait to hear more about it. Thank you, Karen.
Thanks.